Howdy, hey y'all, Allison here, and my guest star is gonna get here soon. He's gonna be here soon. Let's give it a little while before, let's leave it a little while to wait for some more people to get here onto the stream. I should put up a sign saying that he's gonna be here soon, like in the next several minutes. Actually, let's put my hair down. My hair looks nice today, so hopefully it looks nice. It's been up in this crazy looking bun for like a while now. So hopefully it doesn't look like a rat's nest. I don't have a hairbrush down here. So hopefully it looks all right. Kind of wavy, that's neat. I'm really looking forward to my friend getting here. He's gonna be here very soon. I have not seen him in actually it has not been that long. It's been like a few months, but the time before I'd seen him was like a year or so. But we go way back and I'm really excited for this. Very, very excited. So how's y'all's week been? I've been having a good week. I actually got contacted by a company that makes like advertisements in Harrisburg, which is the capital of Pennsylvania for you youngins who aren't from Pennsylvania who don't know. But they make advertisements and they reached out to me over LinkedIn seeing if I'd be interested in a job there. I was like, yeah. So we're in the process of working out a time to do an interview. I'm very excited about that. That should be very, very fun. See, here's the thing about me putting my hair down. I'm like, oh yeah, my hair's pretty, I should put it down. But then I get hot because I get excited about things. I can't help it, it's just the way that I am. Oh, Fiona's book channel says this is the first time I've been on one of these live. That's so cool. I'm happy to have you here. Yeah, this is really like just a hangout time, especially once my friend gets here. You're basically just gonna see two hooligans goofing around for an hour. It's gonna be a good time. Here's the thing. Live streams by yourself are a struggle because you're like, what do I do? What do I say? But when you have another person there, you can literally do anything because you can just talk about whatever. By the way, I'm so sorry the last live stream was such a dud. I'm pretty embarrassed by it. Like I've considered taking it down, but then the thing is, then the numbers will be off. Getting awkward with Allison has to happen once a week, and this is episode 7. And if I take down episode 6, then people are like, where did episode 6 go? And, they'll be like, why'd you skip a week? And I don't want to have to explain myself. So, yeah, I'm very excited for this episode, though. I missed my friend. We were both film majors at Gettysburg College, but then I transferred to Emerson College. And so he's one of the first friends that I made at Gettysburg. So I'm very excited about that. Whew. We're going to talk about movies and talk about life. It's going to be a good time. The thing is with this friend of mine, his name is Josiah, by the way. Whenever we talk about movies, we just get really into it. We just have the most entertaining conversations because we get really passionate about things that really don't matter. And I think those sorts of conversations are really funny to listen to. Like when I was at Gettysburg, I had this radio show that I did called Film Score Friday that I did once a week for a year and a half. And he wasn't on every episode, but he was on most of them. And we would just talk about movies and movie scores on the radio. Public radio. I can just imagine somebody in their car and they're scrolling through stations and they just overhear us two hooligans playing that song from Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the one where it's like, it's a difficult responsibility, just playing that and playing the Big Time Rush theme and just goofing, because Big Time Rush didn't make a movie, so it technically applies for Film Score Friday. When I go back to Emerson, I might start that up again, a radio show, because that was very fun to do, but it also is pretty time-consuming, so we'll have to see. I really regret when I was at Gettysburg not sharing with you guys that I was doing a weekly radio show. Ooh, Kyoko says Emerson is one of the colleges I'm considering. Yeah, here's the thing. I was only there for half a semester before COVID hit and we were all sent home. So I really can't speak to it that much. Like, the thing is, I started my first semester there in January 2020, so it's been a year and a half, but I was only at Emerson on campus for like 2-3 months before everyone was sent home. So it's weird because I'm technically a student there. I have been for a year and a half, but I can't really say much about it. If you're going to school for, it's like one of the best schools for, first off, it's one of the best schools for journalism. So if you're into that, go to Emerson for that. It's also one of the best film schools in the US. So if you look up best film schools in the US, it's like always on the lists. It's always on the list. So that's neat. And I'm excited for next year. Emerson actually has a branch campus in Los Angeles, and I got accepted to study in Los Angeles in a year in spring 2022. Oh my God, the years are passing so fast. I remember when 2020 seemed like so far away, but now that's in the past, and that feels weird to me. Anyways, what time is it? Because like a little while ago he said I'm like 10 minutes away. So, and that was like 8. Oh my God, he's here.
Hello.
Hi.
Where's the bathroom? Before I begin.
Upstairs. Like, one sec, guys. Yep, straight ahead. Can't miss it. Say hi to the dog. Sorry about that. He's got to use the bathroom. He'll be down in a sec. Oh, goodness. Isn't that funny? I was checking. Oh, you guys heard me say that? You heard me say hi to the dog? That's funny. It's funny that you heard me say that. I didn't think you could hear that. Should I keep the hair down or put the hair up? Let me know in the live chat, friends. I just noticed that the camera's a little like tilted, but at this point, who cares? Yeah. This is awkward. But then again, this is Getting Awkward with Allison, season 1, episode 7? Is this episode 7? This is episode 7 of season 1. My jawline looks bad. I'm like, eh. Like, it looks like I have a double chin. I just joined. What's going on? Well, let me tell you what's going on. My friend just arrived. He's in the bathroom. He'll be down in a sec. It's all good. Don't you guys worry. Don't you worry, my friends. Don't you worry. It's just your typical episode of Getting Awkward with Allison. It's always a real riot, always a hoot. Hair down looks better? Cool. Thanks for letting me know, friends. Welcome! How was the drive? Bad? Bad traffic?
Rainy and trafficy.
Yeah.
So it was fun. But we are here now. Oh, you got me a glass of water.
Yeah, I did. I always get really thirsty during these live streams, so I was being considerate.
I thought that was a person.
Yeah, I have my armada of Danny DeVitos right over there, like all of them.
What are those drawings of?
Oh, those cryptic drawings? My brother and I made those when we were children, and we don't have the heart to destroy them.
I do like them, yeah.
Yeah, I made all the ones with the trees, and Alex, like the weird treehouse looking things, and Alex made like robots and pirates.
I can...
Welcome!
Hello.
It's been a long time. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Josiah. I am a friend of Allison's.
Yeah, we went to Gettysburg College together.
We did.
Yeah, you're majoring in cinema and media studies, and I was majoring in cinema and media studies until I transferred over to Emerson, and now I'm majoring in media arts production.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
So I figured, since we're both film people, we could, and our film conversations are always wild because we get really passionate about things that just don't matter
Of course.
at all.
As it should be.
You remember when we did the tournament of which movies would be the most likely to make you cry?
No, but...
You don't remember that?
What one?
Toy Story 3.
Oh, yeah, Toy Story 3. That's a good one, yeah.
Like, in the finals, it came down to Toy Story 3 and Schindler's List.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
And you said, you were like, Schindler's List is more likely to make you sad, but Toy Story 3 is going to make you cry.
Yeah, that is correct, yes.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, like I said, we have conversations about things that just don't matter that get bizarrely heated.
Yeah.
And remember when we were going through, like, our favorite film scores, and I was so passionate about Inglourious Bastards, and you were like,
Yeah.
I really don't care about
It's fine.
I love the Inglourious Bastards soundtrack. If you guys want to listen to it, it's a good time. Check it out on
It's
Spotify.
fine. Yeah, that's good.
You know what I love about Inglourious Bastards is that, and see, I don't feel bad saying that word on this live stream where children are definitely present because it's not spelled like that.
Is it spelled like A-E?
E-R.
E-R? Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't spell it right anyway, so.
Because Tarantino wanted to title it Inglourious Bastards, but they wouldn't let him, put it out in, wide release with a potty word in the title.
Yeah.
So he just changed the spelling.
Nice.
So he could get away with it. What do you think about Tarantino these days?
I don't know. He's supposedly, I don't know if he's retired or if he's going to do one more movie. He always like, oh, I'm going to do one more movie, or he's going to do 10 movies. But he was supposed to do that Star Trek movie, which I don't know how that would have ever been a thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Do you think he's getting better or getting worse? Because, I hear a lot of debate with that.
I would have said, well, let's see. What's the order? It goes Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. Okay, no. Okay, I was going to start recently.
I think it goes it starts here,
Yeah.
and then it goes up, and then it goes down.
And then it goes, I think it goes back up a little bit, though, because it goes.
Oh, yeah.
It goes Django, which I love, and then
Yeah.
Hateful Eight, which is down here.
Yeah.
And then I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well. But I think I like it more than Django. But
I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't love it, but I didn't really like Hateful Eight very much.
Neither did I. It's just The Thing, but with cowboys. So.
Yeah, but less interesting also.
Yes, less interesting.
The Thing has so much tension in it and so much excitement, and it's unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah.
At a lot of points. I remember I watched it with my family, and at the part where you see, there's a part in the movie where they're debating over who should be the leader, and they say, I think it should be so-and-so, and it's this guy who has had no lines the entire movie. They're like, I think it should be so-and-so, he should be the leader. And it cuts to this guy that we've never seen before, and he just goes, fellas, I really don't think I'm equipped for this. And my whole family, we just burst out laughing. We're like, who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
That's what everyone's just yelling. That's a good movie to watch if, you're in a group.
Oh, we just watched it, me and my buddies, a week ago.
Yeah.
We have a thing where we have 105 movies in a list, and then we roll a random number generator, and whatever one we land on, we get. So we've watched some, absolute shockers. We watched a movie called Lego Jack Stone, which is a Lego movie from 2004.
Lego Jack Stone?
Yeah, it's only 25.
Who's Jack Stone?
I don't know. It's only 25 minutes long.
You watched the movie and you don't even know who Jack Stone is?
No, we don't know who he was. No. Well, he's some cop dude. I don't know. It was a 25-minute, Lego's first adventure in a film or whatever. It was terrible. But, we sat through it, and we've experienced a lot of, 80s garbage, like Chopping Mall is about as good as
Chopping Mall?
Yeah, it's about these teenagers that get stuck in a shopping mall, and then robots are there, and they kill them. And we've watched a lot of those. So a lot of 80s horror. And then we got The Thing, too, because they hadn't seen it. So I was like, well, everybody has to see The Thing at some point.
Isn't it so weird that it was so critically disliked? Because they're like...
It is wild to me.
Yeah, they're like, it's so gimmicky. They're like, the special effects are just used for spectacle. But nowadays, people are like, what are you talking about? These are revolutionary effects.
Yeah, and I think the part of the movie to me that tells me that it's not a gimmicky movie is when they're testing the blood.
Yeah.
And they put the wire, that's such a good, it's just such a perfect scene. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how anybody would be watch that and be like, yeah, this is not my cup of tea. Or
yeah, they're they rely too much on the special effects. I'm like, it has good narrative tension.
Yeah.
Really good tension. And another thing that critics didn't like about it, I'm sorry we're going off about The Thing. A lot of you probably haven't seen The Thing. Go watch The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
If you're a little child, probably don't.
Don't. Not probably, don't.
Yeah, just don't if you're a kid. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. One thing that critics didn't like was that they're like, oh, yeah, I couldn't tell the characters' motivations. I couldn't really connect with them because I didn't know their motivations. And it's like, that's the point.
You don't... The thing is that you don't know who the thing is, so you don't know who anybody's motivation is.
It's literally Among Us, the movie.
Yeah.
But it's in the 80s.
Yeah. and yeah, I'm over it. You got it.
And it stars Kurt Russell, and he's hot.
Kurt Russell is awesome.
And
that's why he's in the Hateful Eight too, because it's The Thing, but with cowboys. I've already said that.
I'm so dumb. How did I not make the connection there? You know, the one thing I don't like about The Thing is actually that they cut their thumbs because it bothers me because after I had watched the movie, that was like a few months after I had done this to my thumb.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I needed 7 stitches on my thumb. I did that on a can of soup. Okay,
Yeah.
I wrecked my thumb on a can of soup, and the cut was so similar to the cut that they do in the movies.
Yeah.
Like similar length, similar like depth, and I'm like, I needed 7 stitches and
Yeah,
hospitalization.
that's awful. Yeah.
But like, and they're all just like, ouchie. Oh
Yeah.
well, and they continue about
Yeah.
their day. But the thing that the doctor told me was that the 2 places that bleed the most are fingers and face, because there's so much like circulation going on. Like it's double amount because it goes up and around and just constantly pumping, and there's a lot of nerves there. It's a lot of very delicate stuff.
Yeah.
So it just bleeds a lot.
Yeah.
And like it starts bleeding and it just does not stop bleeding. It's like a shocking amount of blood can come from like a 1-inch cut on your thumb. Just a waterfall just comes out. It's shocking. I was like, yeah.
What kind of soup was it?
Campbell's. It was chicken with stars because I'm an actual child.
Was it worth it?
No.
Okay.
No. Definitely no. So, yeah, I think Tarantino's work goes like up and then down and then kind of like that.
Yeah, I could see it kind of slant back up.
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight. I wish if Hateful Eight and Django was switched, I feel like it'd be a lot easier to say it goes back up, because then it's like, oh, Django and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are both good. So you're like, well,
but
I'm not
Inglourious
saying that
Bastards came out before Django, and Inglourious Bastards is top tier content.
I'm not as high on Inglourious Bastards as other people. I like it. I think Christoph Waltz is the best part, and I'm a big Brad Pitt fan, but Brad Pitt doesn't do anything for me in that movie. So
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't know. I just like, I mean, if I'm talking Brad Pitt, I want to watch Ocean's 11 Brad Pitt or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Brad Pitt, which is kind of weird. But I don't know. That's just I like vibey Brad Pitt. You know,
Just
he's
chilling.
Brad Pitt. He's cool. You know, he's sexy, and that's it. You know, it's Brad Pitt. So
I think like my favorite performances from actors are usually the ones that are just so out there from what they usually do. It's kind of like how my favorite movies are often from genres that I normally hate.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Like what I love is when you get a movie that, like, I hate those kinds of movies, but they find a way to make it work. That's how I'm like, that's a good movie. Like car movies. I hate car movies. They bore the crap out of me. But somehow Ford v Ferrari had me. I was into it the entire time.
Yeah.
And like that's also kind of like, it's not a sports movie, but it is a sports movie.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And normally I don't like sports movies, but it actually does it really well.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love The Devil Wears Prada. Love it. And that is just not a me movie at all.
Mean Girls.
I like Mean Girls, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, something about it.
Yeah.
It's fun, and it's like, whoa, Meryl Streep, she's bad. Dresses are cool. Emily Blunt is cool. And it's, I don't know. Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah. Did you notice my shirt? It says, Buffalo Bill's body lotion. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. That's from Silence of the Lambs.
That's another good one to watch for your child. Okay, Silence of the Lambs or The Thing?
The Thing.
For children.
Oh, for children?
For children,
The Thing.
Okay.
Because I think, like, the effects, at this point, it's reached the point where...
You can tell it's fake. I mean,
it's
the thing is, my friend is really bad with gore, and he's, I mean, like, he can watch it. I'm the same way. I'm not good with gore. And, like, it's still, like, the part with the dogs at the beginning, thinking, like, you know, I just don't want to watch this, even though I can clearly tell its effects. I'm like, I just don't want to see this. But I don't know. It's. I would agree. I think that unless you're too small and you don't understand what's going on in Silence of the Lambs, and then I think you're okay.
I don't know. Silence of the Lambs, that's more like, that gets under your skin, I think. It gets under your skin and terrifies you in a way that, like, is... Were you there when we watched Nocturnal Animals?
No.
You weren't there for that?
No,
with Al and,
that's
and
an
Monty?
Al movie, goodness, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so you didn't watch it?
No, I've seen it, though.
You have seen it?
Yes.
That's a movie that disturbed me on a profound
I get
level.
That, yeah. I understand that,
Yeah, that just hits on a fear that is very subconscious. Where, like, I think a lot of... The scene where, like, the family gets abducted, like, that unsettles me so much.
It unsettled me, too, and that doesn't even unsettle me that much normally.
And I think the reason why it got to me so much is that, like, as like a small female such as myself, you don't realize just how much you are comforted by like, like a father protecting you. So when a father fails to do that,
Yeah.
it's scary. Like
Well, it's not even failure, just you can't do anything.
Yeah. Like my dad is like, he's a badass. So like I've never felt scared when I'm with him. Like I know that I'm safe no matter what.
Yeah.
So when you have the horror of just being, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
it's
I understand
just,
that. Yeah.
Oh, so freaky.
Yeah.
It's kind of like The Shining. A lot of the horror comes from you're supposed to trust your father. Your father protects you. So when your father turns on you, it's like really scary. Or like your husband, supposed to like love and protect you. So it's frightening when a big scary man who's supposed to love you is not doing that.
Yes.
What movie unsettled you the most that you've ever seen?
That I've ever seen. We're not counting when I was a child because there's a whole bunch of weird ones that like if I watch now, I'd be like, what? I don't know. One that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is up there. That's a bit of an unsettling movie. But I think I took it better than I thought it was. Gosh, you have to come back to me on that. I'll think of. You know what? Let me look through movies that I like because typically, if I don't like, Silence of the Lambs was unsettling. I'll be honest. But I don't like Silence of the Lambs that much because it's too much for me. I'm like, I'm not a big fan of what's his face. So
I think there are a lot of really slow scenes. So I think it's the kind of movie that you go onto YouTube and watch clips from, but you don't watch the whole movie.
Yeah,
like,
no, I understand that. Yeah.
I've done that too many times, just like watching clips that I like, but I haven't watched the movie a second time because I'm like, no thanks.
Oh, Eraserhead's pretty good. Have you seen Eraserhead?
No, I've heard of it.
Well,
is that Ryan Johnson?
No, it's David Lynch. It's just like, what am I watching? I don't know if it's like unsettling and like a horror, like you would be with like Silence of the Lambs or I don't know some other horror movie, but it's just, I mean, you have to see it. You're like, this is disturbing in ways that I don't understand. So
have you seen Mulholland Drive?
No, I haven't.
It does that.
Yeah.
It does that.
It might be a David Lynch thing. I have only seen one David Lynch movie, and it's Eraserhead. So.
I think it is a David Lynch thing.
I really want to see more.
From what I've heard, all of his movies are just like that. The only one I've seen is Mulholland Drive, and there's this part. This isn't even a spoiler because I don't even know what's happening.
I know, right?
You know the part? Which part do you think it is?
The part where like the garbage man just for no reason comes out of the corner. Like there's nothing to do with the plot. He just like whoop, he's out.
No, I was thinking there's this part where like these old people are tiny, and for some reason that filled me with existential dread.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just tiny old people, like really tiny, and they're like, help us! And I'm like, what? For some reason, like I think everything building up to that just fills you with just this weird existential dread.
You've got to see Eraserhead then. If you like that.
I did not like that.
Yeah, well, you've still got, I mean,
yeah. You know what I think is interesting? There's this one scene in Mulholland Drive. See, I pulled it up because for my blog, Movie Quotes for Growing Boys, I post daily on there. And I pulled up this one clip because I do all my like edits myself, like getting the screenshots and putting the text on. I do it all myself. So I pulled up this one clip from Mulholland Drive, and it's like really unsettling. And I just did a full analysis on what makes it so unsettling. One thing that I think is like really subtle, but does so much for it is the first shot, so it's at this like ranch. It's nighttime, it's pitch black out, and the first shot is of this lamp that's like above them.
Yeah.
And so it establishes that there's only one light source, this lamp from above. And yet you have these two actors having a conversation who are both lit perfectly like angels.
Yeah.
And it's like really unnatural lighting.
Yeah.
You know, like everything is pitch black. There's one light source and there's like another light way down there. And so they're all like lit perfectly, like they're like a spotlight. And it's really like, it's a subconscious thing where your brain tells you that this is not right. Yeah. Something's wrong here. The first and the last shot are of the light. Yeah. So it's like, it's really subconscious how it messes with your head.
I gotta see it then. I've wanted to.
Yeah. So. And there's another thing is there's this cowboy in the scene, this normal guy and the cowboy. And the cowboy does this thing, the actor, where his voice is very expressive, but his face does not move. And it makes me so uncomfortable. He's like, wow, that's really interesting, fellas.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
very expressive face, but no expressive voice, but his face is barely moving, and that just unsettles you. And he just does not move. He stands very rigid, and just everything is frozen. It's weird. Ugh. Yeah, that unsettled me. I think the movie that unsettled me the most that I've ever seen was. You remember that movie that we watched in film history, world cinema history, the one with the documentary about concentration
Oh,
camps?
yeah, well, that wasn't. I mean, that's not supposed to be very settling. I mean, yeah, I understand that. Yes.
But I think what unsettled me so much about that is that it's real bodies that you're
Yeah.
looking at.
Yeah.
When I'm watching any other movie, I can just be like, oh, it's
Yeah.
fake.
And
It's-
everything in that movie is real. So,
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
And I had just eaten dinner when I got there. I felt like I was going to throw up. I think it's the first time I've ever watched a movie and felt like I was going to vomit. Because there's this one shot that just, like, haunts me, that just stuck in my memory of, like, this, like, massive pile of
That's exactly what I was going to say.
of
Yeah.
bodies, and there's a bulldozer pushing
Yep.
them all into a pit.
Yeah.
And the way the bodies contort
Yeah.
unnaturally, like, no
Yeah.
human body should contort that way.
Yeah.
It's so unsettling.
Yes, I'm not a fan. Well, I mean, like the movie was good. I don't think I'd want to
Yeah.
watch it again.
Yeah, so I gotta say, out of all the movies I've seen, I think that's the one that unsettles me the most because
I
it's
get that.
real.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
It's like some dark web stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So weird, so scary. Let's talk about something else because like children should
Yeah,
not be
yeah.
watching this stuff. Movies that make you irrationally happy.
Irrationally happy.
Like you just watch it and you're like, I'm just happy.
Singing in the Rain is my go-to.
Yeah.
That's my most watched movie. It's like, oh, I've had an awful day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Singing in the Rain, and I'll be like, oh, look, he's dancing in rain. I'm so happy. But that kind of is rationally happy because it's a happy movie. Gosh, what are some weird ones? Dumbo. Nobody else likes Dumbo.
My
I like
brother
Dumbo.
loves Dumbo.
I like Dumbo when he's hallucinating. That just makes me so happy. I don't know.
Best scene.
That's so cool. Simpsons movie. Gosh, there's one. Let's see, one that's weird though. I guess Dumbo was Chicago. It's kind of a weird movie to make me irrationally happy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I think it's supposed to be like fun, but it's also not really like a happy movie. I don't know. How about you?
I have a couple movies that just make me really happy. That I'm
Yeah.
just like, yay, having a good. Most Pixar movies,
Yeah.
definitely. Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Extended editions.
Yes.
That's the only way to watch them. I love those movies so much. They just bring me so much joy,
Yeah.
and I've watched like as much behind the scenes content as I can find.
Yeah.
And it's so you learn so much from it, and there's so many funny stories from behind the scenes. Have you watched any of that?
No, I'm not a big behind the scenes person, but
Neither am. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm not. You know.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how you make it and what kind of movie it is. Like when I was a kid. This is funny. So my mom had this minivan and it had a little TV at the top and you had headphones so like me and my brother could watch stuff. Yeah. And we had like a couple DVDs that we always had in the car at all times. So these were movies that we watched again and again and again. And there was like this Tom and Jerry compilation of like best of. And the other one we had was Over the Hedge.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Over the Hedge. And so we would watch that over and over again in the car, and then eventually we started watching the behind the scenes content. And we had way too much fun watching the behind the scenes for Over the Hedge.
I understand that, yeah.
Lord of the Rings definitely has like the most funny, interesting
I believe it,
behind the scenes stuff because they filmed all 3 movies back to back. And so these people were like living together for over a year.
Yeah.
And some people more so, like the actors, it was, I think it was 18 months for principal photography, and then they came back a few years later to film some more stuff. Yeah. But for other people, they're like, they've been there for 8 years, you know? Yeah. There's this one funny thing where they go to like, and they show everybody, all the different roles there, and there are these 2 guys who are in charge of making all of the chainmail. Yeah. And they have like this shot of like, at the beginning, like, well, you know, this is a good time, you know, it sucks, but like, you know, we're making the most of it, just attaching chain after chain after chain after chain, and it's like 2 years later, and they're just like, we hate our lives, and they've just clearly lost it,
Yeah.
and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And they have so many funny behind the scenes, like, stuff that recontextualizes
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't watch it without thinking about
Yeah,
that.
I get that.
Like, you know the part at the end when Sam's getting married?
Yeah.
And they look out, they kiss, they look out like, ah, right?
Yeah.
So they were having a hard time getting into character because, like, Sean Astin, his wife, was, like, very much like, I don't want you doing the kiss.
Yeah.
You know, she was very uncomfortable with it. So he's like, I gotta make it look real, look good,
Yeah.
but I can't look like I'm enjoying it too much.
Yeah.
Because my wife will be upset. So he was,
Yeah.
like, very rigid and awkward.
Yeah.
And so Viggo Mortensen was watching them film that,
Yeah.
and he was like, it looks like he's having a hard time there.
Yeah.
I got an idea. So he goes off and he to the trails and he finds Billy Boyd, who played Pippin, and he's like, and those two are tight. Like,
Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen and Billy Boyd are like tight as hell. And he's like, hey, Billy, Sean's having a hard time. Let's go help him out. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay. So they go over so that when they kiss, they look out, you know, they can be like,
Yeah.
yay!
Yeah.
Like, pretending like it's their actual wedding.
Yeah.
Just like, yay, right? So, so when they look out and Viggo Mortensen pulls Billy Boyd into a kiss,
Yeah.
and they just make out passionately
Yeah.
right there. And I think they use that shot in the movie because you can see Sean Astin, he's like, huh? Like, he looks off, like,
Yeah.
like for a split second, you can see him just like, it's so funny. Oh, there's so many good
Yeah.
moments in the behind the scenes stuff. So good. So good. And obviously there's like the basic trivia that everyone knows, like
Yeah.
Viggo broke his toes.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff.
You can't. Well, every time I watch that movie, I have to remind whoever I'm watching it with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Viggo broke his toe here. You know.
2 toes.
Did he? I thought it was
Two
just his big toe.
2 toes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
The 2 toes.
I'm gonna like make an edit of that.
Yeah.
Because I am an active poster on r/LOTR memes.
Yeah, that's actually a really. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I post there like frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many funny behind the scenes moments, and even like really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you know the part where they set Faramir on fire and there's like the
Yeah.
burning pyre, right? They knew that the horse would go nowhere near
Yeah.
a blazing pyre,
Yeah.
and they also didn't want a little person actually jumping into
Yeah.
a blazing fire. So what they did was they had this, the fire's over here, the pyre's right here, and they had
Yeah.
this elaborate mirror set up. I don't understand it
Yeah.
entirely, but it's this elaborate mirror stuff, and it looks so real.
Yeah.
But like the pyre's not on fire, but they have these mirrors. Just like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how they did that. It blows my little brain.
When I went to see 2001
Mm-hmm.
in the Air and Space Museum for its 50th anniversary, they actually brought out Douglas Trumbull as the guy that does all the special effects.
Ooh,
And to
yeah.
hear him talk about that, I didn't understand what was going on like 95% of the time.
How old were you?
Like 19.
Oh, so that was like
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah, it was recent, but it was still like I don't know what he's talking about. But you know the Stargate sequence where it like
Yeah, I think
where
I know
like
what you're
like
talking
the weird lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have any CG back then, so it's all lasers and lasers, a conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm.
They like slowed down the frame speed and then sped it back up, but they had like lasers and mirrors.
Like
I don't know how
Chungking
you did it.
Express?
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. But they had lasers on a conveyor belt and they had mirrors on a conveyor. I don't know how he did it. I'm just gonna be honest. It was like, and they had to move at different speeds than just to get different effects. I don't know. It's wild. If you watch it, you're like, how did you do this without CG? And I don't know because they even have like cubes that are spinning that are clearly not. I don't know. He's weird. He's a
That
cool dude.
sequence lasts so long in the movie, and now I see why. Because they're like, we put so much energy and time into this. We are. I don't care if it's 10 minutes of lasers.
Yeah,
it's
it's so
sort of
cool.
it's just 10 minutes of just a laser show.
I think that might be what I appreciate so much about that movie is it's like it doesn't care with the audience.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like I'm gonna do this for 10 minutes and you're gonna deal with it.
Yeah,
So,
you're just gonna watch it.
yeah.
I respect that a
Yeah.
lot when a filmmaker's just like, I'm doing it.
It doesn't feel like it needs, editing either. There's some movies where you're like, okay, man, you could have cut this like 10 minutes ago. But in that movie, it feels like, yeah, we know it needs editing, but you're gonna suck it up and you're gonna watch it and you're gonna like it. And I do. So
Yeah, like, oh, it's so good, so good. Other movies that make me irrationally happy is My favorite Studio Ghibli movie that I've raved to you about that so many times.
Yes.
Castle in the Sky.
Yeah.
I love it. It just makes me happy.
Yeah.
And it also has one of my favorite opening scenes because
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just like watch a movie and just watch the opening scene and just kind of
Yeah.
like analyze it and think about what's it doing, right?
Yeah.
That makes me like it so much. And I know that Castle in the Sky has a great opening scene because once I watch it, I end up watching the entire movie because it just grabs me.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I love a movie that doesn't waste my time.
Yes.
You know, that just gets right to it.
Yeah.
That doesn't spend like an hour explaining the themes and characters and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, just start your movie. We can figure it out. You know, we the audience are smart people. Have you seen... This is really random. Have you seen Swiss Family Robinson?
When I was like 8.
I love that movie. That's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But the thing is that makes it so different from other shipwrecked movies is that normally in a shipwrecked movie, Act 1 is dedicated to their life before being shipwrecked.
Yeah.
So you see how they got there and what their lives are like, and you introduce them as a person. But no, that movie just starts like...
I get that, yeah. I think that's one of the grave sins of like action movies. Is it's like, let's make you like the characters first. Like, I didn't come here to like characters. I came here to see, Rambo blow up a helicopter with, a grenade or something. I don't know. I understand why you would do it, but to me, it's like, do what the movie is set out to do and let me enjoy that part of it.
Well, I like a movie that's efficient, where it makes you like the characters through the story. You don't spend 30 minutes trying to get you to like these characters. Just start your movie, and if you write it well, then you will like them as you watch it. You know, like the Swiss Family Robinson starts with they've just been shipwrecked and they're all talking and they're talking about what just happened, and it makes sense. It doesn't feel like exposition because naturally they'd be like, what the hell just happened? You know? They'd be naturally talking about that. And the family, they're traveling from Switzerland to New Guinea, and like they're like, oh, you think we made a mistake leaving Switzerland, so you figure out the exposition through that, and you figure out their relationships to each other through the action, and their personalities. You figure that out through the action, and you become endeared to them through the action. You don't need to spend like 30 minutes just saying this is who they are. Just start your movie. I'll figure it out. I'm smart.
A movie that makes me irrationally comfortable.
Comfortable?
Or not comfortable. Yeah, irrationally
that
sure.
too.
I think sometimes it happens with horror movies, which I know sounds weird, but there are a couple horror movies that when I watch them, I'm just like, I really love this, and this makes me so happy. The Shining.
Yeah.
I told this to my friend. I said, honestly, like if I'm thinking of a cozy movie, The Shining is cozy to me. Even though it's nightmarish, there's something you're like, yeah, they're in a hotel.
Yeah.
And you can't really go anywhere. They're just like, and the hotel looks nice.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'd like to be there. And it's just, I don't know, it's happy. Like I understand it's not happy, but like I like it.
Yeah.
It just, there's something about it. And same with like
it's satisfying to watch.
It's satisfying to watch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same with a lot of movies that look nice help a lot too, because you're just like, well, I'm not, even if you don't love in the plot, you just watch the movie like, this looks nice.
Yeah.
Like Suspiria, the 1977 version. I don't know about the 1980 version. It's all very colorful, super neon-y, and I'm just watching, and I'm like, every time I watch it, I'm like, this is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah. You know what makes me like bizarrely satisfied? There Will Be Blood.
Really, that's a weird one. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watch it and I'm just like, yeah, I'm vibing here.
Daniel Day-Lewis's mustache is really, I mean, that I understand that. That satisfies me.
I don't like his voice though. It just feels too cartoony.
I am an oil man.
It just like it's such a serious movie, and I get that that's how people talked back in the day. But everyone else talks at least somewhat normally, So he's just acting like this crazy carnival man, and he's supposed to be like a manipulator. I would not trust that man. No. If I met that man, I'd go like, what's a quote that he says? Does he say like I don't like people at all, or
I don't know.
What's he say? I drink your milkshake.
Yeah.
Like I would not trust that man at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it interesting when it comes to for movie quotes for Going Boys. I post to that daily for like over a year. I never miss a day. And I always I'm always trying to figure out what quotes people like.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really inconsistent. Yes. I'm like, sometimes they'll be like, yeah, I get a lot of likes on a classic movie, so then I'll post another classic movie quote, and then it doesn't get a whole lot of like. I'm like, Or like they'll really like a Kurosawa one, and then I'll
Yeah.
post a different Kurosawa one, and they don't really vibe
Yeah.
with that. And I'm like, what? But one of them that I find that people consistently really like
Yeah.
is a quote from a movie that is profoundly meaningful if you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, it just means nothing
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
So one of the most liked posts that I made is from There Will Be Blood. It's the line he's like, I'm a family man, or whatever,
Yeah.
talking about being a family man. And for somebody who's seen the movie, that's like, oh, oh. But if you haven't seen the movie, it means nothing to you. So I think people who recognize it, they feel like a lot more because it's like an inside joke.
What's your favorite movie quote? Well, just give me a couple, because that's a hard
I know
question.
what yours is.
Do you? I don't
Leave
even
the
know
gun,
mine
take
is.
the cannolis.
That's up there, but
From The Godfather.
I think my favorite one is from the Grand Budapest Hotel, where
Adrian, Little Apple.
Yeah, he's like, Boy with Apple is the painting that they're trying to get, and Adrian Brody's character is like, you're not getting Boy with Apple, you damn little fruit, and what's his face? Gustav is like, well, how's that supposed to make me feel? And that just makes me so happy every time I hear it. This is such an irrational thing that he would say.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know. I can't think of my because I have so many quotes in my brain.
Yeah.
Because I've made for over a year, I'm just constantly thinking about quotes. One that jumps out at me that like is a recent post that I just irrationally love, and I was upset that it didn't get as many likes as it deserved. Like, it did okay, but it deserved way more. And it's from Baby Driver, where the main guy, he says, you and I, we're a team. We gotta stick together. And then Doctor says, stop quoting Monsters, Inc. at me. It pisses me off. Because throughout the movie, at the beginning, you see Baby watching TV, and he's flipping through channels, and you see a bunch of different clips. And all of those quotes from those clips show up throughout the movie. And so early in the movie, he said, you and I are a team, Doc. We need to stick together. And he just goes like... And then later in the movie, he says it again, and he's like, don't quote Monsters, Inc. at me. It pisses me off.
That's great, yes.
He's like, I knew I recognized that. My little nephew loves it. Just like... I love that so much. What other ones do I love? I wish I could like pull it up, but my phone's right there. Pull up my laptop. I have lots of funny stickers. You can evaluate my stickers.
Definitely the raccoon one is my. No, there's two raccoon ones. No, the one with the skunk and the raccoon and the opossum. Oh, and the Seven Samurai one, or whatever that is.
That's Seven Samurai.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of raccoon ones.
I love raccoons. Raccoons are my spirit animal.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we could tell.
Yeah. I have one sticker, and it is Boy with Apple, which is the painting from Grand Budapest Hotel.
Nice.
So,
yeah. There's so many good ones on here. Like, here's the thing about like...
Always dignity. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. A recent one that I posted was from Whiplash. That I feel like people misquote that a lot.
Yeah.
Or like they take it out of context. So in the movie, Miles Teller's character says, I'd rather die drunk, broke at 34 and have people at a dinner table talk about me than live to be rich and sober at 90 and nobody remembered who I was. A lot of people post that quote out of context and they're like, yeah, so true.
Yeah.
But that's like the antithesis of the movie because, his uncle's like, yeah, but your friends will remember you, and that's the point.
Yeah.
So people take that quote out of context, and it's like, no, you're not supposed to agree with him.
Yeah.
Similarly, there's another quote from Fletcher, the J.K. Simmons character, where he's like, there are no two words in the English dictionary more harmful than good job.
Yeah.
And people take that quote out of context, and it's like, we're not supposed to agree with him.
Yeah.
Or even with The Shining, when he says, women can't live with them, can't live without. Or no, does he say that?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, can't live with them, can't live without them. I looked it up, and I think that quote originated from that movie.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh, that's crazy.
It originated with that movie, and people like take it out of context, and I'm like, we're not supposed to agree.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
we're not supposed to agree. The whole point is that he's like, oh, women, so annoying, and she's just trying her best.
Or I think it happens a lot with like the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Everything about the Wolf of Wall Street, people are like, whoa, look at him, he's cool, and it's like, well, the point of the movie is that he's actually not that cool. Yeah. He's messed up like crazy. So.
Yeah, we're not supposed to. People like it goes over their head so much. Like Walter White, Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. People are like, yeah, totally. Screw that bitch
Yeah.
wife. And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? We're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
What other good ones do I like? Classic. I can't care for you, but I can't carry you. That like consistently makes me cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That hits me right in the soul. What other good ones? Yes, I did put a quote from Big Fat Liar.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't even care if other people are like, that's lame. I'm like, I don't.
There's Silence of the Lambs again.
Oh yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Up there.
Do you have any James Bond ones on here? I saw Daniel Craig. I don't know if it was a Bond movie.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody
Skyfall.
needs a hobby. What's yours? Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should do one from The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
Next. Because that movie is just such a meme to me.
The Roger Moore Bonds are all fun like that. They're like, well, this is completely cheesy and terrible, but I love watching this and I will do it for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many good ones.
I've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I think it's overrated. Like
my dad hates it, so that's probably why I've never seen it. But
here's my hot take on Ferris Bueller. I don't really like it either. Like I dislike it.
You think he's a whiny loser? Because that's what my dad says. I haven't seen it. I need to.
He just reminds me of people that I hate.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Ferris is just this guy that doesn't care about anything.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I forget what it was about him so much because it's been a while since I watched it, but it was just something about him just reminds me of so many people that I don't like.
Yeah, no, I understand that, yeah.
And so a lot of people are like, yeah, he's so cool. He doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or how he affects other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't like
Yeah.
that. I like characters that are, not like that.
Yeah, they're either distinctly unlikable or distinctly likable, and
Yeah.
I feel like Ferris might fall somewhere in the middle of that.
I don't know.
Maybe
like
not to say
someone
that-
like Walter White is in the middle.
I was gonna say they are interesting. They have some dimension about them that you don't understand.
I think Ferris is written with the intention of being likable.
Yeah.
But he's unintentionally dislikable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so when you have this character that's put up, like, the narrative frames him as being right, and
Yeah.
we should aspire to be like him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is an ass.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't vibe with that. Yeah. You know what movie makes you feel really conflicted? No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
That makes me feel conflicted, like, morally.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't remember much from it, but I was like, that movie is very, like, America,
Yeah.
And it gives me these sorts of vibes of, like, I don't know if this is off base, but, like, when I watched it that first time, it gave me, like, kind of xenophobic vibes.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have this all-American, red-blooded, like, sheriff man, and you have the evil foreigner, and, like, and, it's all about, like, the good old days when America was America.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, and it's like, no country for old men, things are changing these days, and I'm like, it feels weird.
Well, I feel like that's the point the movie tries to, like, it tries to make you think, oh, No Country for Old Men in that sense, but then at the end you realize that it's I don't know how to explain
I don't even remember how it ends.
You should watch it again.
I probably should. That's another movie that I watched while eating, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a bad idea, yeah.
There's some movies that, like, it's weird how memory affects you like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's one Kurosawa movie, The Lower Depths, and I was watching it, and, like, while I was watching it, I had a stomach bug, and it hit me as hit hard as I was watching it, so now I associate that movie with nausea.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I could watch it, but, like, I just associate it with, like, pain. Oh, it's so weird how that works. Because I was also eating... So, like, a little bag of Reese's Pieces, and then for a while, I couldn't eat Reese's after that, because it just reminded me of it. It's so weird how that works.
I have something I want to bring
Weird hot takes.
Weird hot takes. Gladiator sucks. You know that. You've been around me long enough to know that I don't. Okay, it doesn't suck. It's not a half, like, if I'm rating on a scale of 1 to 5, it's not a half star. It's not. It's like a 2. But I just think people wildly overrate it because I don't know. to me, Joaquin Phoenix's character just drives me up the wall. Not because he's like evil. I mean, he is evil, but I just feel like he's too much of a caricature of like an evil. Like, oh, this guy is evil. It's like, okay, we get it. He's evil. Like, I understand. It's like every possible thing. They're like, well, he's he killed his father. He kills these people for fun. He married his sister. You know, it's like everything he could possibly do wrong. They're like, let's make sure we point that out. It's like, okay, I got it. You can stop now. And then it just keeps going to the point where it drives me crazy. I don't know.
You know what bothers me about Gladiator? Is that Commodus was such an interesting guy.
Yeah.
He was a weirdo. Stone cold weirdo.
Yeah.
And I would have respected them so much if they would have just leaned into that.
Yes. Make him weird, and then you can have him do whatever you want.
He was profoundly strange.
Yeah.
Like, that dude liked to, like, collect exotic animals, like ostriches, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's, like, one thing where, like, he beheaded an ostrich and looked at Cyrus and was just like, this...
Yeah.
Like, that is just so weird.
Yeah.
He just liked to flex on his enemies by inviting them to the stadium and then butchering exotic animals.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Yeah, that would have been cool.
It's so profound. He was such a weird guy.
Yeah.
I would have respected them if they would have just gone with that. But you know what I think about Gladiator? I think the music is so underrated.
People like the music. Yeah.
Nobody talks about it.
Nobody does talk about it.
But... Pirates of the Caribbean, everybody loves Pirates of the Caribbean, but what a lot of people don't realize is Hans Zimmer had like a few weeks to write it.
Yeah.
He was only given a few weeks to write the Pirates of the Caribbean music, so he was like, okay, what's my last project I worked on? Gladiator? And it's just a ripoff of Gladiator.
Yeah.
So I was like, we love Pirates of the Caribbean, but like, I'm like,
check Gladiator.
Check Gladiator. It started with that. There's so many parts, so I'm like, that's literally the same. So I think it deserves more recognition for that.
I just don't think I'm a Ridley Scott fan. I don't know. I like Alien, okay, but like I like Aliens more.
Really?
Yes, I do.
I'm the opposite. I loved Alien, but I was like, I don't like Aliens.
Really? I don't know. Aliens is fun. What else has he done? There's some of it.
Did you watch Aliens right after Alien or years later?
No, I saw Aliens first.
You saw Aliens first? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I think that's why. Because for me, I watched them back to back, and so Alien sets up the alien as this unkillable killing machine.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, they're a bunch of miners, though. That's the difference, I think. Because in the second one, they're Marines. And I
don't think so. Because, like, their blood is acid.
Yeah.
And, like, throughout the second movie, like, that never poses a threat ever again. You know, like, it's just... It builds up this alien that's just this unkillable machine.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that even the Marines would have a hard time killing just one of them.
Yeah.
But the second one, it's like, let's just have 1,000 of them. And it just takes out all of the tension that the first one built up. Because I watched the first one. I watched them back to back.
Yeah.
And so the first one, you understand how it works. It really does a good job establishing its different abilities.
I feel like they're not... Okay, I understand that you're taking away the tension, but I don't think they're meant to be like the same movie. I mean, the first one's, I would say, is a horror movie, and I'd say the second one's an action movie. Yeah, but that's like... So...
I just feel like it doesn't feel like a real sequel to it. I just feel like they're like two separate movies. And I feel like the second one kind of, I wouldn't say it ruins the first one, because I'm the sort of person that can watch a movie, even if it has a bad sequel. I can watch the first movie and still appreciate that for what it is. But in a way, it kind of bastardizes what the first one did.
It does have the best name for a sequel ever, though.
Yeah.
So, Legend has it. Of course, nobody knows. I don't know if it's true or not, but... Legend always has it that James Cameron wanted to direct a second movie, but they're like, why would, Alien didn't do like that well at the box office because it's like a low budget horror movie.
Yeah.
But he walked into the pitch meeting and he wrote Alien. He had Alien written on the board. He just wrote an S and then he put dollar signs through it and left. And then they greenlit it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. James Cameron's a baller. I wish he would give up on like Avatar and stuff and just do cool movies. Because like Titanic, Terminator 2, Alien, like that's awesome. Like do that, James Cameron. But no, he's like, Avatar.
What else has he done?
Avatar.
Like I struggle to think of James Cameron.
He's done like 6 movies. That's why. Like he pours so much time into it, and I wish Avatar is fine. I understand you want to do, but don't make sequels. I want to see more like other James Cameron stuff because everything he's made I like.
The problem is they put so much money into like Disney made a theme park
Yeah.
for Avatar.
Yeah.
There's no going back now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that so funny that like Disney was like, oh, what's it called? The other one has Harry Potter land.
Yeah.
We want to, what is it?
What is what?
The one that has the Harry Potter
Universal.
land. Universal. There. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? You recently, this is random, but, so I've always joked with like my friends that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm low-key dyslexic.
Yeah, yeah.
And so finally I took a test online
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, you are severely dyslexic.
Talk to my mom. That's her job.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I was like, I took some tests online and it's like, no, Allison.
Yeah.
You are severely dyslexic. Which is funny because I read a lot, but like, I'm like, it's hard, but I like it, you know? Anyways, so I didn't even realize that mixing up words in your head is also like a sign of dyslexia. Like, I thought it's just you can't read.
Yeah.
But no, the fact that I just can't words.
Yeah.
But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Universal. So Disney sees Universal's success with Harry Potter, and they're like, what franchise can we do that with? And they're like, of all the franchises that they could try to replicate Harry Potter's success with, Avatar.
One movie in, too. It's not like they're like 3 in. You're like, oh, this is a moneymaker. Like, Avatar? Cool.
Yeah, like, for such a big investment, why?
And there's still, second one still hasn't come out. It's like 25 years later.
Yeah.
Also, isn't the title like The Seed Bearer or something awful like that? I think it is.
I don't even know. I think like the only thing to come out of it is that image of the baby Avatar.
I don't know, man. I haven't even seen the first Avatar. I just don't care. Yeah.
It's like whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, why would I watch a whatever movie when I could watch a bad movie or a good movie?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you either watch bad movie or you watch good movie.
yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, a mediocre movie isn't really gonna do much for you.
Or a bad movie that you enjoy, because like Cobra with Sylvester Stallone, I mean, it's horrendous. But at least 85 people get shot off motorcycles. So
Yeah.
also, it has the greatest line in cinema history where Cobra walks into a room and there's a guy who's like, I have a hostage. And Cobra's like, the hostage gets away. And then Cobra's like, drop your weapon. And as soon as he says that, he just unloads his gun. There's no pause, anything. It's so funny to me. Every time I watch, drop your weapon. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, man, just calm down.
It's like, this is such a weird thing to remind me of. It's like, did you ever watch Smosh as a kid?
No.
I did when I was like 10.
Yeah.
But they had this running joke where like there was this cop that's always like, stop right there, and just like unloads.
Yeah.
And that's immediately what I thought of.
yeah.
So when you said that, for some reason my brain just imagined Ian Heacox yelling, stop right there. Just so stupid. What cringy thing did you like as a kid? Star Wars prequels.
I only liked, well, though I still like those. What do you mean as a kid? Yeah. Star Wars prequels are fun. They're not
fun.
Good, but they're fun.
Yeah. I don't know, the first one, I feel like
I
I'm
can't
in a
watch.
coma.
The first one's hard for me to watch just because of that "Are you an angel?" line. But
It's boring.
the first one is kind of boring.
It's very boring.
It's cool when they fight Darth Maul, but that's about it.
Like, can you identify what the plot of the first movie is?
No, it's like Anakin's kind of there.
Like,
It feels very disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah, or like what is happening?
Yeah, I think Attack of the Clones is better, and that should say. Attack of the Clones is worse, like, well, when people, like, clown a movie, Attack of the Clones is it, because its dialogue is so horrendously awful, but, like, it's cool. Like, there's creatures in arena, there's clones, this dude's on a rainy planet, and his armor is sick, you know, just stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about, like, a couple of days ago, the scene in Return of the Sith.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
I say that, too, all the time.
Yeah. In Revenge of the Sith, where the Obi-Wan versus Anakin duel, I was thinking about the dialogue, and, like, what about it just makes it feel so unnatural and cringe to me, and I think I finally pinned it down, is that, there's this idea, convincing versus conveying, and when you feel things, you're conveying your feelings. But when you're lying, you're trying to convince someone. You know, you're not just saying what happened. You're trying to convince the other person to believe you. But if you're telling the truth, you're just kind of saying what happened. That, and so all of the dialogue in that duel is all convincing, so it doesn't feel genuine. Like so like for instance, when he says, "From my point of view, the Jedi are evil." Like nobody in an actual heated argument would say that. You know. What would sound more natural is Obi-Wan is like, what are you doing? You know, the Sith are evil. And he's like, yeah, well, the Jedi are evil too. More evil, actually.
Like
that would feel natural.
Yeah, that would feel better.
Where you're saying what you feel and what you think, rather than saying, from my point of view.
Yeah, nobody would say from my point of view,
You only say from my point of view if you're having like a civil debate.
Yeah.
Where somebody's like,
they're in like suits.
Yeah. Or someone's like, well, I believe this. And you could say, well, alternatively, from my point of view, you know this.
Yeah.
Like, you say that in a civil debate or like a corporate thing, but like in a real actual argument, you don't say from my point of view. You just say your point of view. Oh, it's so cringe. It's so bad.
It's lovable though. I will give it that. It has stood the test of time.
I don't know. 10 minutes of just like mindless fighting.
I think that fight choreography is cool. I will be honest. I like that scene. I think the General Grievous scene is what's lacking in that movie.
That too.
Because you're like, oh, General Grievous, he looks so cool. He's gonna kill everything, and then it's like a 2-minute fight scene, and General Grievous is dead. Like, okay.
We did this video on this channel where see, we have this like running series of like derpy videos where we'll like take a story and then we'll just like derpify it.
Yeah.
And one of them we did was derpy prequels.
Yeah.
Star Wars prequels called like Star Wars Perkles. And there's this one clip where I remember I was pitching this to my friend for the idea for this video. I was like, okay, so here's what happens. You play Obi-Wan, right? You jump down and you're like, hello there. And General Grievous goes, oh shit. Oh, you scared me there. My heart skipped a beat. And then it just goes on for like a whole minute. I'm just going, oh my God, Joe. You really scared me. I need to sit down. I need to take a, how you doing? I'll be home. Man, you really scared me. Just like a whole minute of just that while Obi-Wan's just awkward, like, sorry. Sorry. Just, it's just, I told this to my friend and she was like,
do you prefer the sequels or the prequels?
I don't even know. It depends on which one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would go, my order of Star Wars would go 4, 5, this is hot, 3, 6, 2, 1, 7. Oh, I forgot Rogue One. Put Rogue One before 1. I prefer 2 to, no, put Rogue One before 2. 2 sucks. 7, 8. And I didn't see the last Star Wars because I couldn't do it.
I didn't either. I've reached a point in my life where, like, I feel like there's something really sinister and weird about the fact that people feel obligated to watch a movie that they know they won't like because of a brand.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
like, when all the reviews come out saying that a movie sucks and people describe to you and it's like, wow, that sounds like all of the things I don't like to see in a movie. But then people feel like they have to watch it and give them their money
I get that,
just because of the brand, and they aren't a real fan if they don't watch it. I'm like, I think that's BS.
I can agree with that to some extent, but I think, like, for me, James Bond transcends that. And I know that sounds weird, but it's because I have not yet. I've seen, like, there's 29. I've seen, like, 24. Mm-hmm. There's not one yet that I've disliked. I like all of them because I think the thing I enjoy about it is, like, there's a formulaic approach. You know there's going to be a villain. You know there's going to be a henchman. There's going to be some sort of gimmick. Yeah. Bond's going to have some sort of car. There's going to be some sort of gadget. You just know exactly what's going to happen. So even if the movie's bad, you're like, oh, I can still stick around for the things that I do enjoy.
Yeah. If you
know,
find
like
a
Denise
formula and you
Richards.
like it. What time is it? I think we got to get going.
6:36. We got 4 minutes.
Yeah. We got 4 minutes. You know, actually, I have, for my internship, the last Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock, we have, like, a company meeting, and it's always live streamed, and they're like, hey, we want to do, let's meet at 6:30, that way we can, like, talk about it before we go live, and I'm like, you dropped this on me, like, yesterday, so I was like, I'll be there at, like, 6:45, you know, so if you guys want, you can jump over and watch me live some more. www.twitch.tv/thegeekgrid21. So, yeah. I work for the Geek Grid Studios.
Maybe I'll stream you on my way home.
On your way home.
On my radio, yeah.
Yeah, it's on Twitch. The Geek Grid 21. That's what it is. Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to talk about?
We have this really big event coming up. August 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday, at the Steam Stacks at Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, at the Arts Quest Center. So I have to memorize this because I'm in charge of all the promotional videos. I've made 97 promotional videos for them. 97.
/ terrible.
I keep a list and I add to it.
Do you have like your favorite and least favorite promotion video?
I don't have a least favorite, but I do think I have a favorite.
There's like one that you're like, this is the one. Yeah. This is the promotion video.
This is magic. Yeah. But this big event, it's like in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's called Steam Fest, and it's this massive convention. They're expecting
Yeah.
like 7,000 people
Ooh,
show
wow,
up
yeah.
because last year was the first one they did it, and they're expecting like 1,000, but then 5,000 showed up, and they're expecting this one to be even bigger.
Yeah,
So
actually,
they're
yeah.
like probably like 8,000 people probably. Like it's gonna be big. It's like it's a big convention. It's gonna be like cosplay, gaming,
Yeah.
movies, lots of panels,
That's
and
fun.
lots of vendors. Like there's gonna be some performers, some speakers, all that sort of stuff. It's gonna be super fun. So we're having a meeting discussing that because that's like a month from now.
Yeah.
And giving people updates with all of that.
Do you know anything that's like, what are like the panels going to be on and such?
There's one that's on voice acting.
That's cool.
I have a pal there, Chris Datoli. Like I frequently collaborate him
Yeah.
because I make promotional videos. I'm like, hey, you have an epic voice.
Yeah.
So he's doing one on like voice acting.
Yeah.
There's like I'm really looking forward to that one because I actually filmed his last workshop that he did, and
Yeah.
it was like really fun because he gives people like a script to read, like pulls people from
Yeah.
people volunteer from the audience,
Yeah.
and he's like, okay, you got to read this, but let's give him a quirk. And people like were saying, they're like, how about he's constipated as he says it? How about he has to do a Kermit
Yeah.
Frog voice as he
That's
says
fun.
it? And so it's like, read it this way, and it's really fun. And he also talks about how to get into the voice acting industry and all that sort
That's
of stuff.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Chris. He's great.
That's fun.
And what else is there? I know there's this one author that's coming. She writes vampire romance. I know she's coming. There's going to be talk from that. There's this company, Verde Mantis, that does 3D printing. And
Yeah,
they're
that's
going to be
cool.
like doing a whole panel on that sort of stuff. It's got like a bunch of stuff. I don't know why I'm like blanking off the top of my head, even though probably
Yeah.
because I made like 100 videos that they're all just blurring together in my
Yeah.
brain. There's one girl, my boss's daughter, who does digital art and actually like
Yeah.
makes money from commissions and stuff, and she's got to do a panel on like how that whole stuff
That's
works.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're doing a whole like live stream talking about how that all's gonna go.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, I was considering saying I could do a panel about the Danny DeVito thing. Like,
Yeah.
like you can imagine it, like how I became a meme
Yeah.
and just like it's story time with Allison. But I was like, do I actually want to do that? That would be cool.
Which is your favorite out of your Dannies?
Out of my Danny collection?
Yeah.
Like obviously I gotta say original Danny.
Yeah.
But
That's reasonable. Yeah.
other than that though, I like them all for different reasons. Like, I think my least favorite one would be Taxi Danny in the back over there. He's just kind of
Yeah,
normal.
but he's taxi, so that makes it cool because
I
taxi was cool.
I like the one attached to Arnold, but then
Yeah.
that makes it really cumbersome and hard to fit in
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
Like I like it in theory, but like I said, it makes it a little bit of a logistical
Yeah.
struggle. So I think I gotta say, other than OG Danny, my favorite would be Penguin Danny.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that one.
I
don't know what he's
I
what's he
really
called?
like that one too,
Yeah.
from Matilda.
Oh, Matilda. Okay.
I think like I alternate between those
Yeah.
two being like my
Yeah.
favorite.
I like his cigar and his hand, his angry hand.
Oh, he was like
Yeah.
pointing, but then like the thumb finger broke off. Yeah, it happens.
It
What
does.
time is it?
It is time for me to go.
Alrighty,
That
well,
was fun.
we should do a live stream
We
at your
should.
house.
Yes, we should.
Yeah, totally. Let me know. We'll figure that out. Hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all. Okay, bye.